They lived on the edge of the known world, beyond the borders of one of the most powerful empires in history, in a land of mist, cold winds, dark mountains, and endless northern seas. The Romans called them Picti, the painted people, perhaps because of their war paint, perhaps because of tattoos covering their bodies like living maps of identity and power. But to Rome, they were more than just another barbarian tribe. They were a people the empire could never fully conquer. For centuries, the Picts existed in the shadows of history. We mostly knew them through the writings of their enemies, Roman chroniclers who described them as wild warriors hiding in forests and mountains. But history is rarely written by those who actually live it. And today, archaeology, genetics, and modern historical science are finally allowing the Picts to speak again. What we are discovering is far more complex than the old legends. The Picts were not foreign invaders arriving from distant lands. Genetic evidence shows they were descendants of local Iron Age populations of Britain. They were not a separate race in the modern sense, but rather a cultural and political evolution of ancient British communities adapting to life in the harsh northern climate. Their society was far more advanced than early historians believed. The Picts built fortified settlements across northern and eastern Scotland. They practiced agriculture, growing barley and oats, and raising cattle and sheep. Their homes were often circular stone structures built around central hearth fires. Inside these homes, families cooked, worked, and survived the brutal northern winters together. Archaeological evidence suggests strong community organization and social hierarchy. One of the most shocking discoveries came from Tap O Noth Hill in northeastern Scotland. Archaeologists found evidence of a massive hilltop settlement where thousands of people may have lived simultaneously. This was not a primitive tribal village. This was an early form of urbanized society, with political centers, craft districts, and coordinated construction. The Picts were also extraordinary craftsmen. They produced bronze and silver jewelry, with extremely sophisticated metallurgy. Their brooches, chains, and ceremonial objects were symbols of status and political authority. But the most mysterious part of Pictish culture remains their symbol stones. More than 300 of these monuments still stand across eastern Scotland. They are carved with strange, repeating symbols, double discs connected by Z-shaped rods, serpents, mirrors, combs, and abstract geometric shapes. For centuries, historians believed these were simply decorative designs. Modern statistical analysis suggests something far more interesting. The symbols appear in structured combinations, suggesting a system of meaning. Some researchers believe these stones may have functioned as early records of family lineage, territorial ownership, or political identity. While the language of the Picts is lost, their symbols may represent one of the earliest non-alphabetic information systems in Northern Europe. The Picts were also formidable warriors. In 685 AD, the Battle of Nechtansmere changed British history. The Pictish king Brede III defeated the Northumbrian Anglo-Saxon army. This victory stopped southern expansion into northern Britain and allowed the northern kingdoms to maintain independence for centuries. The Picts fought differently from the heavy infantry armies of Rome or Anglo-Saxon kingdoms. They used mobility, terrain knowledge, and guerrilla-style ambush tactics in marshlands, forests, and mountain passes. Northern Britain was their battlefield and their home advantage. But the greatest historical breakthrough came not from archaeology, but from genetics. In the 21st century, scientists began extracting and sequencing ancient DNA from Pictish burial sites. The results were revolutionary. The Picts were not a mysterious, vanished civilization. They were biologically continuous with earlier British Iron Age populations. Their history is not one of invasion or replacement, but of long-term cultural and genetic evolution. DNA studies also show that Pictish genetic heritage still exists today among modern populations of northern Scotland, Wales, and Ireland. The Picts did not disappear biologically. They were gradually absorbed into the emerging medieval population of Britain. In the 9th century, everything changed politically. Pictish kingdoms merged with the Gaelic kingdom of Dál Riata. This created the Kingdom of Alba, the direct political ancestor of medieval Scotland. This was not a violent cultural collapse. It was a slow process of political integration. Elites intermarried. Languages blended. Cultural traditions transformed rather than vanished. This is why the Picts disappeared from history as a separate named people, but not from history itself. Their language is gone. Their political institutions are gone. But their genetic, cultural, and historical legacy continues. The Picts were not a lost civilization swallowed by time. They were part of a continuous historical transformation. And perhaps the most fascinating truth is this: the Picts never truly disappeared. They simply stopped being called Picts. They became something else. And in a way, that is how history always works.